Hello, welcome back to another flight review, this time on America's most premium airline, United Airlines. I know that triggered a lot of you. But that is the big question these days, isn't it? Should United even be in the conversation of premium airlines? Well, on my recent weekend trip to Amsterdam, I had the chance to test this out for myself, as I had the opportunity to fly in Polaris business class on their Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner out of Chicago.
Did he just say he went to Amsterdam for a weekend?
Yeah, I did. I have recently decided that it is now my personal goal to normalize weekend trips to Europe. Because number one, why not? And number two, if you had the chance to fly in a lie flat business class seat across the Atlantic for less than $6, you probably would do it too. In terms of booking the seat, I didn't have to do anything crazy this time around. I booked with my United Miles and I was able to find some pretty decent saver space availability flying there in Polaris for 80,000 miles and flying home in premium economy for 50,000 miles. I was flying in the middle of January, so saver space was pretty much wide open for the entire month, which made things nice and easy. These were simply miles I had accrued over time for being a frequent United flyer, so there were no credit card transfers that were necessary this time around. We start our journey here at Chicago O'Hare's Terminal 1, where Polaris and 1K check-in was literally empty. There was no one there. But because I wasn't checking any bags on this weekend jaunt to Europe, I just checked in on my phone and headed right through security. Unfortunately, the timing of my flight came at the worst possible time, as the Polaris lounge here in Chicago had just closed for renovation and expansion the week before. So we had to settle for one of the regular United clubs instead. While this one by gate C18 is at least one of the newly renovated clubs, the experience here comes nowhere close to that of a Polaris lounge. All Polaris customers were given this little bag at the door with 2 free premium drink vouchers and some chocolates. But I would have liked to see at least a premium a la carte food option as well here for Polaris flyers, especially because you miss out on other amenities such as the shower rooms, and not to mention how crowded the club was at this time. The buffet food was fine, but again, certainly not what business class passengers should expect on the ground before a long haul flight. Here's to hoping that the refreshed Polaris lounge blows me out of the water the next time I'm there to make up for it. After I got done having a pity party for myself, we headed on over to our gate C18. Tonight's flight was operated on a Boeing 787-10, which holds a total of 44 Polaris seats arranged in a staggered 1-2-1 configuration, with the odd number rows providing a bit more privacy with the seat itself against the fuselage and the storage compartment in the tabletop adjacent to the aisle. I made my way over to seat 5A on the port side of the plane, where I was welcomed by my elegant Saks Fifth Avenue bedding and pillows, which are some of the best in the sky. The seat itself features United's blue and gray color palette and is one of the most comfortable you'll find out there today. The seat controls were to my left, and to my right were the faux marble tabletop, a universal and standard USB outlet, the IFE remote, and the primary storage compartment. Inside the compartment held the IFE headphones, a little vanity mirror, and a bottle of water. Beneath the IFE screen is another thin storage cubby and USB outlet, and below that is where the tray table comes out. I love this feature where you can actually slide it away from you so you can get out of the seat without having to collapse the table. Once I got settled in, the crew came around with a champagne offering, which came in a plastic glass. I guess it tastes the same either way, but certainly negative points here for the plastic. Come on, United.
All right, so quick amenity kit review here before we push back and before they turn the lights off. We have some slippers here, United branded slippers. They're kind of flimsy, to be honest, not the best quality, but if you want slippers, you got them. And then the amenity kit itself is in partnership with Therabody, which is really cool. Inside the amenity kit itself, you got pretty much all the basics. You have an eye mask here and some soft tissues in this kind of top pouch. It's like top pouch here, and out flies the pen. You got a little pen here. Inside this, oh my gosh, I am a mess right now. We got a pair of socks. They're a little bit thin, so I don't think I'll be wearing them. The classic basic dental kit and some earplugs, which would be nice. And then inside this sealed package, we have a towelette, lip balm, hand cream, hydrating mist, and some eye serum, which is great. I will for sure be using these. And the kit itself is actually a nice design. It's nice and compact, nice and small. Got a couple pouches here. You can definitely use this as a dock kit or a travel kit for cords or whatever you want to do. And I will for sure be bringing this with me and using it for other things. It's a nice little kit here. So well done by United and Therabody. Good amenity kit. Again, pretty much all the basics, but it's what you come to expect.
All right, so as we all know, United is not known for their catering, to put it nicely, so we will see how this goes today. Although some of these options here do at least sound promising. I did like the dual English and Dutch menu. I thought that was a nice touch. All right, big shouts to Carlos, my flight attendant. He saw that I was filming and started asking me about it, and he's very friendly, so maybe I should bring my camera on more often. I think I'm gonna do that. Also, I'm having a huge crisis right now. I can't decide if I should have white wine or red wine for dinner. I really want white, but I'm having steak, so I feel like by rule I should have red. Honestly, might as well just do both, I think. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna get white now, probably like a Sauv Blanc, go red for dinner with the steak, maybe a little cab action, and then might as well finish off with a port wine for dessert, right? Like a little trifecta wine session on this plane. I know my dad would be proud of me if I did that, so I'm gonna do that. Shout out to my dad. He's a big wine guy. Taking a look at the IFE screen while we wait for our first course, this is another area that United definitely excels in. The interface is so crisp and high def, and just look at all of these options they give you. No shortage of entertainment here in Polaris. All right, I totally lied. I did not get white. I panicked and got some champagne instead. I feel like I have a reputation for drinking champagne. I don't really know why, so I felt like I needed to live up to that reputation. So we got some nice nuts, cashews, and almonds, looks like. Nice and warm. Glass of champagne and a glass of San Pelli with some ice. Shout out to my sparkling water people. You guys know what's up. If you don't like sparkling water at this point in your life, I don't judge you, but I do consider judging you, if that makes sense. And without further ado, I present to you my first course, which was the burrata and side salad with some bread rolls. All right, so first course rating. I need to hurry up before Carlo. He's right there. Yes, and the salad as well. Yeah, thank you. Oh boy, I don't think he heard me say his name though. United first course rating. It was edible, like the burrata was fine. I just had literally 3 half cherry tomatoes with a full ass burrata cheese that didn't taste that great. So I'd say it was probably like a 3. I didn't eat the salad. Bread was fine. I just don't get how after all these years of United knowing that their catering isn't good and everyone says their catering isn't good, that they still haven't fixed it. We'll see if they can redeem themselves during the main course. The bar is set pretty low, I'll be honest, with the first course, so we'll see what they could do. And obviously they have the ice cream sundaes that are back, which that's gonna slap so hard, I already know that, but I don't want to prejudge before it comes. We'll see. We'll give them a shot. We'll see how it is. But first course, not the best. Now the question becomes, can I finish this in time to get a red wine with my steak? I doubt it, but challenge accepted, honestly. Next up, we have the main of beef short rib. Even though I keep calling it steak, I don't know why I was doing that. Paired with some mashed potatoes and seared broccolini. All right, first impressions. It looks and smells pretty good, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit pleasantly surprised. We're just gonna do this because it's a little bit easier. All right, so really falls apart beautifully. Is this gonna be good? Not bad. Not bad. Potatoes, those are okay. Nice little broccolini here. Pretty good. One more beef. Just spilled it myself, but I have the napkin on my lap, so that was pretty clutch. It's not the best I've had on a plane, but it definitely beats the first course. It's pretty good. And of course, it would not be a Polaris experience without the ice cream sundae cart. All right, I didn't get to the red wine, which is a little bit unfortunate, so I'm sorry, Dad, I let you down. But I did get the port wine, so champagne, white wine, port wine. In my book, that's still a trifecta. I digress. Here we have the classic ice cream sundae from United that they discontinued for a while, and it was brought back by popular demand. Those who know me best know I have a really
cripplingly bad. Is that a word? I have a crippling sweet tooth, is what I'm trying to say. I am looking forward to this. So if you don't mind, I'm going to stuff my face, and I guarantee you I'm going to tell you that it was good. Was not expecting this, but there's some peppermint bark on this thing. That is a pleasant surprise. It may be January 18th, but I'm always in the Christmas spirit, and I love some peppermint bark. That bite right there just elevated the score of this ice cream even that much further. Alright, remember earlier how I spilled, but onto my napkin, so it was chill? I did it again, but this time not on the napkin, on my sweatshirt, right down the middle. I find myself in these situations more often than I care to admit.
Spilling on myself twice in one meal as a full-grown adult does concern me too, yes. But we'll just pretend it never happened with a quick clothing change in the lavatory. Problem solved. The lab itself was spacious but nothing special, with a few communal amenities from Therabody. I freshened up a bit with the face wipe from my personal amenity kit and went back to my seat to get my bed ready. And there she is in all of her Saks Fifth Ave glory. God, that looks so comfortable, and I can't confirm that it definitely was. Not many know that United does have extra mattress pads upon request for Polaris customers, so I did ask for one, and they certainly make a difference. I put on my favorite movie of all time, the live flight map, and sat back to enjoy the rest of my port wine. And this is precisely the moment where I kick back and say to myself, you know what? Yeah, this is pretty sick that I paid $5.60 for this ticket. And here is my shameless self-plug. If you want to learn how to do this yourself, I have a free 10-part series linked right here that you can watch and learn how to do this all by yourself. And be just like me and fly business class across the ocean for $6. $6. In this economy? Anyways, port wine polished off, it was time to roll over for my much needed slumber. Awoken by the cabin lights just a few hours later, I was brought my breakfast shortly after, which was just not very good. Scrambled eggs, sausages, and potatoes. It was just reminiscent of a TV tray meal, and I just could not finish all of it. I did quite enjoy my morning tea though. I mean, you can't really mess that up. And to put a cherry on top of this lovely flight, the cabin was treated with a beautiful sunrise over the clouds before we descended down below into a very foggy Amsterdam Schiphol airport. I certainly have mixed feelings when it comes to the whole Polaris experience because the hard product and the soft product are two totally different stories. In terms of the seat itself, the hard product, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better one in the sky right now. Putting aside the upper echelon of seats like Q Suites or Cathay's new Aria Suite, Polaris is very competitive, especially when comparing your options to fly across the Atlantic. The problem with United, though, is that the soft product cancels out a lot of that good. I mean, I had one kinda decent meal out of 3, and that just cannot be acceptable if you want to play ball as a legitimate premium international carrier. It's the culinary experiences of the East Asian carriers like ANA or Singapore or Cathay Pacific that should be the standard here. And not to mention the Gulf carriers, Emirates, Qatar, Turkish, etc. United has a long way to go to be competitive in this space, that's for sure. All in all, would I fly Polaris again? Yes. 100%. Especially if you're flying across the Atlantic, as long as you fill yourself up with some good food before the flight, the Polaris seat itself is very competitive in that market. If I were going the other way across the Pacific, I certainly would choose one of the East Asian carriers over United if I had the choice, just because I feel like the soft product, especially the food, holds a lot more weight the longer you have to be on the plane. Alrighty, that will do it for another flight review. Thank you so much for watching as always, and we'll catch you in the next.